If you need some hand lettering ideas for short quotes, you're in the right place. Hello lettering friends, I'm Sarah from Ensign Insights. I have 8 hand lettered quotes here and I'm going to give you a tutorial of each of them. Let's get started. So I drew 8 boxes in my journal here in case you have a dot grid and you want to follow along. They are 18 dots tall and 12 dots wide. And we're going to fill them with 3-word quotes, all in different styles to give you some hand lettering inspiration. And by the way, I'll be using my Archer and Olive journal and my Pentel Touch brush pens. These are great pens for beginners. The first one I'm going to do is blocks. When I have no idea how to do my quote, my go-to is blocks. Just add as many blocks as are in your quote and write your words on top. And I know I said I'd be using my Pentel Touch brush pens, but I originally did this for a tutorial video I made for Archer and Olive, so I'm using their acrylograph pens. I will get into the Pentel though. And you can add any kind of background around the blocks. I really like stripes, so that's what I'm doing, and adding some colors, just keeping a straight line by following the dot grid. These acrylograph pens layer on top of each other really well, but you could also use a brush pen for the blocks and a gel pen or regular black pen for the words. And the 3-word quote, enjoy the moment, is a great one to remember to stay present in this moment. And I always love a simple monoline lettering style. Remember, when in doubt, keep it simple. If you feel like you have to make some really elaborate quote, it might be a little bit harder to letter as often as you would like. So keep it simple and that will make it much easier on you. This one is a really simple wreath. There are all different kinds of wreaths you can make to border your lettering. For this one, you're going to start with an oval, and then with the Pentel Touch brush pens, I'm just coloring in some leaves. And with the lighter green, I'm making a stem because I'm going to add some flowers. Honestly, you don't even need the flowers, you could just do leaves, but I wanted a little bit more colors. And then I'm adding the little polka dots to add some blue. And finally, my 3-word quote is keep it simple. Sometimes we overcomplicate things and make things harder than they need to be. So here's your reminder for today to stop doing that. This 3rd one is a really fun way to play with colors, and it's really easy. I'm starting with my lettering first, and I'm going to do it basically centered in my box, and I'm writing "You are brave." I am mixing fonts here, so I'm doing an uppercase print style, and then I'm doing a script style for brave. And I love these words. I love that you can tell yourself whatever you need to hear, like validating yourself for what you need right now. And then, just like sprinkles, you're going to add your colors in little lines, and I'm just going through the rainbow colors and adding as many as I feel like, going through all the different colors, adding little lines wherever it looks like it has an open space. And I've also done this with black sprinkles when my words were really colorful and I just needed some contrast. And that's it, cute little sprinkles for a top and bottom border to frame the words. Number 4, stripes. Can we just talk about how amazing stripes are for a minute? They're so simple. It's a great way to add lots and lots of colors. And when you have a dot grid, you can follow the dots to make a straighter line. I use stripes so much. I just think they're the best, especially because I love rainbow colors, and stripes are a really good way to see all of the rainbow colors laid out perfectly. And I love to do the thick stripe and thin stripe. So use the heavy pressure on your pen for the thick stripe and then very little pressure to get the thin stripe. And that just adds a little more dimension to these stripes. And then for the 3-word quote, just keep going. This is for those days when everything seems like it's going bad. Just more and more are piling on. So this is the reminder to keep going because it won't be like this forever. It will get better. You just have to keep going. Number 5, we are making an actual rainbow. So continuing with the stripes, and I'm just curving my stripe around, and I'm making it as big as I can. I'm leaving space in between each stripe to give them some room to breathe. And I'm turning my pen at the top so that it will be the thick stroke all the way around, instead of, if I didn't turn, then it would just be a thin line at the top. So I have to actually curve my pen around. And then, because I filled up so much of my box with the rainbow, I can only do small words. So I'm doing let it be, and I'm starting with pencil to make sure that it's gonna fit, and I'm gonna be able to get it centered right inside the tiny little space. And I'm just using a lowercase print style. I love these words, let it be. I love the song. It's like the anthem for people who are trying to stop worrying and freaking out about everything and just live your life. Next, we're going to fill the space with our words, and I'm going to do a border on the top and the bottom, smaller than the sprinkles, but still there. And I'm definitely starting with pencil because I want my words to fill up the whole box. So I am doing the uppercase print style. By the way, if you are feeling uncomfortable with this chunky print style, I do have some worksheets if you would like to add that to your lettering. I think it looks great with the script style. For the script word to, I am doing an elongated style so that it can stretch all the way. And then I'm going to lightly erase with my kneaded eraser so that it doesn't show through my pens, but I can still see it. And then I'm going in with more stripes because, yeah, stripes are the best. This is just going to be my border on the top and the bottom. I love this kind of border. It's really simple and adds a lot of color. I do this with large brush pens when I want to fill a whole page, and using small brush pens is a great way to fill just this smaller space. And then you'll just trace over your words. This quote, "Dare to begin," is a great reminder that you may not know everything right now, and it takes a lot of guts to get started in something. Whether that's a new hobby like hand lettering or a new style of lettering, maybe you've been lettering for a while and you want to try something different. The great thing about lettering is that it's all an experiment. So if you are experimenting and you find something that you don't like, it was an experiment. Throw that away and start something new, and you're going to find what you love as you keep experimenting. Your style is going to change and grow as you change and grow, but you're never going to find that if you don't experiment. It's one thing to be brave enough to begin, and it's another thing to be patient with the process, and that's what the next quote's going to be. To get started with the angle, we first have to draw in our angles. So just draw your lines, straight lines, that angle upward, and I'm doing 3 boxes for my 3-word quote. Each word is going to go on the different lines. So I'm starting slow and steady. And with this one, because you're doing it on an angle, so all of my downstrokes are still straight up and down, but it looks like it's really slanted because the baseline is going up. So it gives this really elegant look. I'm also making my letters a little more bouncy. Then you'll just want to draw in your curves so you know how many you have. Is it a good curve to follow? I wanted to count out the amount of colors that I was going to use for these curves. And then I'm going to use the kneaded eraser like always. And then you may have noticed that I use the dark navy blue for all of my words. I've been doing that because I like the dark contrast against all of the colors. I usually use a dark gray or a black, but for these ones, I just decided to go with the navy blue. And I love this 3-word quote, slow and steady, because it's just such a good reminder that things don't always happen in the timeline that we want them to. We live in a rushed and hurried world, but actually that's not how our lives are supposed to be. The progress that we make in our lives is not overnight. It's slow and it's steady, and we have to get started to make that progress and keep going over and over. And slowly, over a long time, we'll start seeing the changes that we wanted. Like with hand lettering, When I first started, I didn't think I was very good. And then years later, it was like, wait, I have actually made some progress, but you don't see it in the moment. It's only when you look back on it that you see how much progress you've made. And then of course, I'm using all of the colors to do these curves, and it's framing the words on the angle. Number 8, lettering on a curve. This one is so much fun. First, you just have to draw your curves, and you can make them as curvy as you want or just slightly curvy. Mine kind of look like banners, but I'm not doing banners. But it's like the same kind of curve as if it was going to be a banner. And once again, I'm doing 3 so that I can do my 3-word quote. My quote is "Go for it," and I'm doing a really elongated, wide style so that it can fit through the whole curve. And it's kind of nice to have all of the extra lines to be really curvy and add to the look of the curve. And then, sorry, I did cheat again. I'm using my Caron brush marker in rose pink. I just wanted to fill in the whole space inside the curves, and I didn't feel like taking that long to fill in that space with my tiny little brush pen. Even though this is a tiny space, I needed a larger brush pen to fill it in, and I do love this rose pink of my Caron markers. So even though I said I was only going to use my Pentel Touch brush pens, I think this look is going to be worth it. You can tell me. So I'm filling in all of the curves outside of my words, and then I used my Sakura Jelly Roll black gel pen for the letters because I wanted it to be that monoline style. I didn't want to have the brush pen downstrokes, just because it's a little more dainty with these curves. If you start with a regular pen like this and you decided that you did want the calligraphy look, you could go in with faux calligraphy and thicken up all the downstrokes on your own. And then I just wanted to add the border because I think it frames it really nicely. When I had finished that, it seemed like something was missing, so I went in with my gold gel pen. This is my very favorite. It's the Uniball Gel Impact in gold. It's the best. I use it for all of my gold details. And I just wanted to add some stars and dots to give it an extra little something that I thought it was missing. And I love how this one turned out. I normally love all the rainbow colors, but I think this one might be my favorite one of all 8. What do you think? What's your favorite one? Which one are you most excited about trying? Let me know. And I have to let you know, if you liked this, you'll probably like my new Skillshare class. It has a 7-day challenge where you'll follow along with tutorials just like this to help you improve your lettering and fill your journal. And you can take it for free if you're new to Skillshare. That's all linked below. If you are looking for more ways to fill your journal, I'll leave that video right here. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.